mashallah, look how many are in there working on this flower. Like they're having a grand old time. Subhanallah. Absolutely miraculous. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So there was this news story where a guy named Leo Lucanas III was working 100 hours a week. He's under the age of 40. He had some type of heart attack, stroke, thrombolism. I don't know how you say this word. But he died, right? And he wanted to switch jobs. But the whole thing that this news story made me think about when I was reading different articles who were reporting on it not too long ago was how he obviously was chasing money and status. And with that kind of a work schedule, you're getting all this money, but if you had a family, how much time are you spending with them? It's really quite strange. And it also makes you see, like, your boss, they are demanding so much from you, you're not able to turn off and actually be a human and enjoy your life. And I think those people, they use cocaine so much because of the demands put on them. Now, when someone says, oh, you have this title, you have that title, there's prestige in it. But how much time are you getting to actually relax, to think about deep existential issues or metaphysics or your purpose? What impact have you made? You're not able to volunteer. I mean, yeah, you would have money to pay for a nanny to help your wife, but you wouldn't be the one there enjoying all those wonderful memories with your child. So your time on earth would be subpar in my opinion, even though you succeeded by the atheistic standard that demands that you be this productive machine until death, because that's the only purpose. Because in an atheistic mindset, you don't really have purpose beyond death. Purpose is what you make it here, because you're in the material realm. And you can only act on the empirical, and so while you're here, and when you're here, going after money and status, that's a means of success. Whereas for us Muslims, attaining the hereafter and getting into paradise, that's the true success, right? Doesn't mean you become a sloth or a beggar, because as we read in Riyadh Salihin Volume 1, begging is not recommended. It's not dignified. But to work that many hours, it's very unhealthy. How much can the body take inside? And if you're working that much, how is your exercise program? How is your sleep regimen? How are you able to actually turn off your mind from all the stuff you've been thinking about? It's gnarly. Quite lonely. Quite lonely. And to have your son work that much, how can they even visit you or anything? When someone works such a schedule, they're hiring people to do all those jobs. Housekeeper, maid, a person to do the laundry, always having someone else cook for them. Someone else is doing the landscaping. Everything is put to someone else to do for your own life. That creates jobs. But at the same time, there's honor in doing things yourself sometimes. Men who know how to correct their own plumbing and to fix basic things, they get a certain joy from that. But if you're working that much, you can't really do that. And so it's interesting if you think about in terms of marriage. Some might argue, oh, a person like that is a high value man, but they're never home. And if a woman doesn't love her man, he's literally just a paycheck. Like, how much energy is he gonna have for intimacy? How much energy is he gonna have for anything? So you get to live off his wealth, and never see him. How can you have a bond with someone like that? There are women, obviously, who would like that kind of setup. But does that benefit the man? Does that recharge him? Does that help him to shut off and rejuvenate himself? Is that what we're pushing people towards? Work-life balance is a very interesting conversation. Because there's different kinds of stress. There's back-breaking labor, going into the mines, coal mining, mineral mining, working in an oil rig. Dirty Jobs was a very great series. I encourage you to check it out. Whew, those jobs are very extraneous. And not every person can fit into one role. I think if you do your job well, you're always going to have stress. You're always going to have something that makes it so you need to pull back. The mental load, the physical toll, the spiritual toll, these are all things that really hark on people. And so, it's something to think about when you read this story, I'd argue. It just really made me sad for that guy. If you, want money, I understand, but, oops. If you want money, I understand. Oh, someone bumped their head. Come here. If you want money, I understand. But there's something to be said for slowing down. Being a minimalist. Like, how much money do you actually need? Oh, you want to get down? Okay. In order for... Here you go. Oh, I know. In order for you to feel purpose. You don't want a book? She's got a really cute book. Look, she's destroyed part of her book. Look at that. Books and toddlers don't last very long. Numbers, colors, and shapes. Doesn't last very long. But, and just like that, she's over it. Toddlers are funny. See, like, if you work 100 hours a week, you don't really get to spend time with your kids and see all the funny things they do. Delegating that all to a nanny, and then they wonder why some of those rich families are just not super connected. It's fascinating. Is it better to just have less and spend more time with your kids, or to work all the time in order to impress men and flex? And at that stage, you don't have any emotional connection to a woman, and the high probability of them buying escorts is super high. And that's a terrible industry. You hear a lot of these guys yachting, going on these private yachts and buying women. It's really gross. Fresh and Fit do that kind of stuff. And he got that chick, oh, let's not say her name, but she was an Asian Chinese escort, and she was one of those beauty pageant ladies who gets a fake title in order to be purchased for a certain amount per hour. Very costly. Some of them are 40K, 30K, 2K, you name it. But they're very expensive. And so they service all these financial bros. And it's a degenerate, disgusting lifestyle. And those women, they end up wanting a kid, and then those men don't want them necessarily. But there are those who get the rare Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts thing, where a guy swoops you up and marries you. But that's quite rare. Quite rare. Most of those women, they end up overboard, as shark chum, or just with a lot of mental issues and broke because they don't know how to spend their money. So, it's something to think about. Working that many hours, they just outsource their affection to escorts, and that's not healthy. Because they don't have time to actually be a husband. And it's just tragic all the way around you look at it, that type of lifestyle. Let me know what you think. And how much do you work? How much are you putting in? What's the balance between passion and drive and commitment and overbearing yourself? making an extreme burden on yourself to the point where you lose your humanity. You lose who you are as a person. I'd be very curious to see what you have to say. Life is meant to be enjoyed in a certain sense. It can be rough, but I couldn't imagine just never being able to unplug from your source of income. Quite daunting, actually. Very bizarre. May Allah guide us and make us steadfast. If you'd like to support my work or read other things that I write, you can do so by going to my blog at www.subscribestar.com/MilhanArchive. Hope to see you there.